prize money. So tension is starting to build.
All right.
Rise.
Fitz going to raise here to 18,000.
That's a rather large raise, Barry. The blinds are 1 and 2,000. The typical raise would be to like 6 or 7,000. Not sure why Jerry Fitt wanted to raise so much. He might feel a little uncomfortable with that ace-jack and just wants to end the proceedings right here. And, you know, Kenneth James with a jack-10, he's not really getting a very good price to call that much. But I think he might also sense that his opponent doesn't have a lot of comfort with his hand.
But he does call. Try to make an honest man out of Jerry Fitt. And James catches a pair here.
Check.
And checks. And Fitt bets 20,000 into James. See if that scares him off.
Not at all.
Not for an instant. Now the turn, a queen on the turn.
That's a real good card for Kenneth James. You know, either he was beat on the flop, his opponent already had his pair of tens beat, or that queen did nothing.
Check.
Check.
Fitt checks. As does James, a 7 on the river.
I think James might be suspecting now his 2-pair is in fact the best hand, and he might want to value bet here.
Well, he's going to go after him.
And he bets about half the pot. That's a reasonable value bet. That, and the beauty of that bet, Barry, is if Kenneth James gets re-raised here, he can get away from this hand. And wow, Jerry Fitt folds the ace-jack, and James, I think, knew all along he had the best hand, but deep down, he's pretty happy that he didn't get called there. He'd rather just take down the pot.
That's the first hand I can remember Jerry Fitt playing, I don't want to use the word carelessly, but at least somewhat carelessly.
And his once mighty chip stack is starting to dwindle a bit.
Ace little from Fitt. He's first to act.
And he needs to fold here.
All right.
Rise.
But what do I know?
Well, there you are. He's going to raise.
8,000.
8,000.
And my hypothesis is that Jerry Fitt might be a little bit on tilt right now.
You look at what James has here. Pair of kings. It's just a question of how he plays this. See if he can reel Fitt in two times in a row. He's going to raise.
Fitt in early position made a standard raise to 8,000. James, that's another 40,000. So it's 48,000 total. Nobody else is going to want to play unless they look down and find a big hand.
No.
Jerry Fitt can't call. When the action gets back around to him, he cannot call an additional 40,000 with an ace-3. And that's one of the reasons why you don't want to play that kind of hand in early position.
You haven't got your hat on.
You haven't got your hat on, he says to Kenneth James. Now James, of course, will put it on. There you go. Onus is still on Jerry Fitt.
And I think his decision has been made already. He just wants to see the two different looks of Kenneth James. Chapeau and no.
I think it's looking pretty much the same to him. He throws it away. So Kenneth James has taken advantage of Jerry Fitt, has not blinked on 2 successive hands. And Kenneth James will eat into that chip stack of Jerry Fitt.
Tough way to make a living. Very hard.
Well, it's been easy money for him the last 2 hands. We got a lot more poker to play here in Melbourne, and we're coming back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is the PartyPoker.net Aussie Millions. We're at the Crown Casino here in Melbourne, Australia. And a James back-to-back winner before we went away to break. Phil Ivey, get rid of that Jack-5. James a 10-4 suited.
65.
65.
100 or 1,000? 6,500.
Enough to get Liebert out. Well, Let's see what Martinelli does with this ace-10.
We haven't seen Mr. Martinelli get involved in any hand yet. And the streak continues.
Still won't, that's right. Cairns won't play either. Galanis gets out of the way. Well, Fitt has been the guy who has stared James down to no avail.
2 players.
And he will again. And he's the favorite right now. 6, 7, 8 on the flop.
Check.
What Kenna James has going for him, though, is position. And in No Limit Hold'em, that is a mighty attribute to have, getting to go last.
Little pair for James on the turn. Check. And the river is a 7. So James with his 2 pair. Check from Fitt. Token bet 10,000.
That bet surprises me, Barry, because I don't think Kenna James gets called there unless he's beaten. In this case, he wasn't, so he doesn't get called. So there's not a lot of value in betting there. The only way he's going to get called is if he's losing.
Which he's not been doing. Kenna James has been on a roll. Let's take a look at the chip count. Kenna James has now gotten within 44,000 of Phil Ivey. Jerry Fitt is still hanging around at 221,000. Martinelli, Cairns, short stack, Galanis with 57,000. Lieber not much better at 62. What has been a tough table is about to get tougher. Jamil Dia, who was the 2005 champion in this event.
And here we are in the Shark Tank. You thought the aquarium was across the street.
Galanis, who when he sat down at this table said, wow, has got to feel he's in a little more high cotton than he was.
8,000.
Raise. 8,000.
And Dia says, hello, gentlemen. Let's raise the price a little bit. And lady, excuse me.
Yes, and the lady hasn't had much to play.
And, you know, having, oh, there's an ace-king for Martinelli. Maybe this is the time that he
raise.
wants to put those chips into play.
He's going to raise, he says. Doesn't look like a confident player, does he?
I'll go all in.
All in.
Sorry?
All in.
Yep. That's all in.
Dia raised to 8,000. Martinelli pushes about 40,000, so it's going
You
to
got done.
cost Dia about 30, 33,000 more.
20, 23, 33, 34.5, 35,500.
35,500 more to call.
Yeah, cool.
And he's going to call.
10 cards.
He is the defending champion in this event. Feels very confident, needless to say.
Good luck.
It's the coin flip, but the pair of tens really is a clear favorite here. Dia gets all the money in with the best hand.
And now the flop.
Oh, and it got better.
My goodness, did it get better?
Martinelli's going to need running kings or running aces.
What's a dealer?
Yeah, how about it?
What's a dealer?
What a
man?
dealer, he
5 seconds
says.
of fame are over.
And a 5, and that's going to do it. And Dia is going to eliminate Bernard Martinelli. So it's hello for Dia and goodbye for Martinelli.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
And all he can do is say thanks a lot. Nice hand. See you later. Bernard Martinelli has been eliminated by the defending champion, Jamil Dia. Well, we said it was a tough table, and it certainly was unkind to Bernard Martinelli. He's gone, and the power remains. That's a wrap for us for this portion of the PartyPoker.net Aussie Millions. For my partner, Michael Koenig, I'm Barry Tompkins. We'll see you next time from Melbourne, Australia.